is finally time for it. European Grand Finals. I'm Sugar, joined by Johnny and Turtle, and we have potentially got ourselves 3 series to crown the king of the region, Johnny.
Yeah, you say potentially because I think everybody's kind of expecting, or at least considering, the real possibility that BDS win 2 series in a row here. But do not forget, Vitality have got the pedigree. This is K-Dop's, I think, 8th regional final in a row, dating all the way back to Season 3. He hasn't missed one. And, you know, it's only the global pandemic that's prevented him from making more LAN Grand Finals in a row for RLCS. He's the reason why people said you can't stop K-Dop. Let's see if BDS can do that today.
I'm not surprised at all about the desk. You know, if anything, I'm more surprised we're not at a 50-50. This is going to be a closer matchup than people expect. And, you know, you can date this even not too long ago whenever we're talking about in this season alone, you've got the winter and the fall major. Both these teams met each other. And you were talking about K-Dop. He was scoring the most goals per game for Vitality. When he gets into a grand final situation, he activates a different form and becomes an absolute monster.
Well, for me, most important player to watch is over on the blue side. Monkey Moon was incredible last time he took to the field. Over on the orange side, I think Alpha 54 has got to be that player. He looks like he struggled most against BDS. Can't quite be his usual magnificent self. Do see K-Dop looking to try and set up Alpha 54. Goes low on the shot.
Ooh.
And they had both angles covered. BDS double committing for the win.
Well, Vitality already off to a great start here. They've got BDS completely pressured into their half, into their goal. This isn't something we see all that often. And we saw such great striking ability from Vitality in the semifinals. They only dropped it 1 game to Top Blokes there. It was an unbelievable performance from them. And if they can produce the same that they did there throughout this grand final, we all know they've got a chance here. That's awkward, but Fairy Peak does well, deflecting the ball into the corner. Vitality do not look nervous, despite the fact they're against their nemesis.
Yeah, and you're talking about, you know, the form of shooting and how both teams are pretty neck and neck, to be honest with you. You've got Monkey Moon, who is leading the championships with 36% shooting accuracy, but right behind him is Fairy Peak. This is going to be a matchup of phenomenal striking, and you're going to need some creativity to break through that defense.
We talk pedigree. Fairy Peak's in the Octane. That's the car that he started with way back in the, you're talking Season 2, 3 when he's making a name for himself. This is definitely a throwback for Vitality. They need to go back to what they've done before, because recently BDS have been so dominant, but they have never been to as many grand finals as Vitality have. Even if you do add up all the ones they've accumulated this season, this is a great chance. Alpha 54 to the backboard. Mark's there.
Let's keep that pressure on, though. K-Dop already up. He'll be unchallenged. Looks to set up Fairy Peak. What a play! Vitality caught BDS flat-footed. And that is a great way to introduce yourself to the series.
K-Dop to Fairy Peak to the top corner. Beautiful passing at Fairy Peak. Like Turtle, you mentioned, the shooting percentage has been so impressive. He slots it.
And for me, it's all about the rotation from Fairy Peak coming out. Not only do you get the accuracy on the shot, you get the pass from, of course, K-Dop in the grand finals. He's always hitting that peak form. But you also get that perfect rotation from Fairy Peak out of the other's half. And he's waiting for the shot. Great vision from K-Dop, great rotation from Fairy Peak, and that's the way you start out the first game.
Extra looks to try and fight back. Got just over 2 minutes to try and get themselves back into game number 1. This first series has always been so crucial throughout the week, and that's not the best play actually from BDS. They've now opened themselves back up. K-Dop slowly inches his way forward. They know that they don't need the next goal. Alpha, does he want to put this back in field? Yes, he does. Nobody around on the rest of his team. They're setting up over in the midfield, and they've got a good reason why. BDS will look to try and set up. Nothing around. K-Dop this time. First shot on net. Probably would have hit the crossbar anyway, but still Monkey Moon forced to recover and save it.
It's a KG start to BDS series, and a KG start to the entire set, because they've only had 2 shots, and Vitality didn't look under immense pressure for either of them. Monkey Moon with 1 first touch here. Extra's actually backflipped on the spot there. The pressure's absolutely getting to BDS. You got to remember, they're the ones who have all the expectation on their shoulders here. Vitality have done exactly what everybody expected of them. They've gotten top 2. We only want top 1 for BDS. That's what their fans have come to expect from them. And K-Dop might be throwing goal here. Extra scrambling back. He doesn't get there, but the post does. It's still 1-0.
Off the backboard, you can see what K-Dop was going for. Looking for the setup, and they are all in position, getting passes left and right across the box. finding ways to break through the BDS defense. It looks clean from Vitality. They're starving out BDS.
Oh.
Basically, there's no chance except for right here from Monkey Moon, but it's saved out. Vitality's defense holds up.
I wouldn't say held up, but more held on as they will maintain their 1-goal lead heading into the final few moments of this first game, marked by 8. Wide the low challenge, nobody from Vitality wanting to take that one on, but that is the second time now that Vitality have been a little bit slow on the draw when it comes to their defense. Haven't quite been punished by it. Very Peak back to the midfield. Monkey Moon, that's not going to trouble K-Op, who looks to just try and buy some time. That's a great challenge for himself as well. Well set up for Alpha to get the clear.
Yeah, really good work there from K-Dop, not letting the ball go into the center. But BDS are still posturing aggressively. Extra beats his man to the ball. How's it going to bounce? Not well. K-Dop has it covered.
5
With
seconds.
Just a few seconds left. It's now up to BDS to put a shot on net. Triple commit and a save for Vitality. Very Peak with one last touch. Confirms the win. And it was a bit of a nervous ending there for Vitality, but they've held on and they had the first blow to BDS, and one of the biggest blows they've suffered all season.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Game 1, we already see how close these two teams are. If you expected BDS to come out here and just storm through Vitality, then you're not going to get the exact match that you were thinking. This is nowhere near that. And you can even tell on the stats, Vitality, they were dominant with the shots, the ball touches, while it's a little bit more even. It was well thought out from Vitality and executed super flawlessly.
That's what we're going to need more of. This was a very hesitant game, I feel, from both sides. The best goal-scoring opportunity did come and was scored by both K-Dop and Fairy Peak. But they're going to need more of that. Over on the BDS side, it just didn't seem like they were expecting some of the misplays that came on the defensive Vitality. We will see more of that as we go through this first series. But a huge chance here as well. If Vitality take the second game, it is a huge mountain to climb if you're over on BDS. Reminder that both teams have got access to timeouts as well. BDS haven't usually had to use theirs. They probably still don't know how exactly that rule works through how little they've really been pressured throughout this season. If Vitality can take this, they might have to consider it.
Vitality, again, the aggressor early in the game. We did see BDS firing back late in game 1. Extra unable to catch up to the first touch there as his air dribble went a bit away from him. I'm looking to, see both teams really iron out those mistakes that we did see in the first game. We saw a backflip on accident from Extra. We saw Fairy Peak just narrowly miss a back wall clear. There's a double mark on Monkey. So, the communication for BDS still needs to level up as well. Both teams are still warming up into this grand final. And this is, new territory for BDS. I don't think any of the majors or regionals have been in throughout the season will come close to what they're currently experiencing.
Well, you think about what's on the line right now for BDS versus Team Vitality. BDS, like you said, Johnny, they're fans, everybody watching. We all expect nothing but the best from them, and that's because of the reputation they've built, their performance throughout the entire season. They've been destroying on a tirade, and there's a shot there from Monkey Moon. Could have started things off strong. The shooting seems to have picked up for them, and they're on a roll.
Oh, that's finally going to go in. Monkey Moon found his opportunity. It was an amazing defensive stand, but Alpha just couldn't hold it off anymore. What a shot from Mark by 8. Didn't really aim for the net, just wanted to make life difficult for the keeper.
Yeah, Monkey Moon just capitalizing on the loose ball there. It needed to go into the corner for Alpha. Yes, he saved Mark's shot, but the deflection only sent it into an even more dangerous position. And that's the BDS we have become so well used to seeing this season. They've all joined in the attack. They're all sending thunderous shots on net, and they have taken the advantage in game 2.
So you alluded to what was on the line regarding the positioning of the season and how BDS were expecting them to try and get that first place, but what also is on the line is $80,000, and we all know the lads over on Vitality, they've been in these sort of positions before, they've fought for this sort of money before. Over for BDS, this has been their first real season of being in the big money of eSports. This is a major opportunity for them to really bolster that bank account. Already got yourself $80,000 just for making it here. Winning this $160,000. All you have to do is beat one of the best top 2 teams in the region. As that's a penalty. Swan kept out it, now looking for a breakaway. Up goes Alpha. Monkey with an Extra trying to get back. Claws off shot, an Extra will already be there. Alpha ran out of boost, ran out of options, and ran out of time. 1-0 still.
Oh my goodness, you can see what Alpha is thinking. It's one of those shots where you're catching up to it and you're thinking, okay, I better not miss this off the near post, and he's hit it into the far post area, massively overcompensated. That needed to go in the bottom corner closest to him, but the accuracy has let down once again. Now, that was also a massive let-off for BDS, who triple committed, and should have been punished there. Still another chance. K-Dop, he will score! It's in off a BDS player!
And we're in the grand finals. Of course, K-Dop's gonna put this one away, but you didn't expect it to bounce off of a player from BDS. Marked by 8 got the save, and Monkey Moon was just simply in rotation. A disaster to tie things up for Team Vitality.
But it's been a consistent thing so far from Vitality. They're not aiming top corner. They're not aiming for positions where the keeper can push it away. These have been scrappy shots, and either through complete mistake or actual looking for it, it's been difficult for BDS to deal with. They can't quite get the clears that they're after. We've got just under 2 minutes left. And Vitality on the hunt, looking for their chance. They might very well get it. K-Dop very disciplined, holding the midfield line. This is the reason why, because that transition from BDS Turtle, always so quick and always so dangerous.
Oh, that's the thing. You cannot count out BDS at any given moment. They're going to try and throw up this illusion that they're vulnerable, they're weak, their defense isn't prepared, but then you give Marked by 8 extra Monkey Moon, any one of these players, one opportunity downfield, and it could be the end of the game, let alone the series.
The Vitality are keeping the ball in awkward positions. It's been a real struggle for BDS to establish those consistently clean and powerful touches, because Vitality are just chipping it into awkward spots, and they're not shooting really powerfully towards top corners where BDS are waiting. You saw there from K-Dop in the last goal. Just slots it down low. It's a difficult ball to clear. So credit to Vitality. They're making life very difficult for BDS right now.
And Turtle, you might be able to bring a bit more light to this, but when a game is at full pace, the pace that you're used to playing at, it's actually easier in a bit of a way because your muscle memory takes over.
Absolutely.
But in a game like this where things are slowing down, people are making mistakes, how does that affect you mentally and how you try to approach the game?
It's all about the hesitation. Whenever you're in a high-pressure situation like this from, a grand final standpoint, you are completely worried about whether or not you're making the right decision, how you should move down the field, because whenever you said it's all, fast-paced, you're relying on muscle memory, it's easier to feel relaxed because you're used to it. But when things slow down, you get a little bit hesitant and you start making some mistakes.
Oh, this is trouble. BDS are on the ropes here. They do not have a lot of boost between them. In fact, I think Marked by 8's got 14, and that's pretty much it. 100 pick up for extra. That's huge. He's on the back wall, covering any rebound in that area, but it's still in the air, not now, and into the ground for overtime. 1 goal separates Vitality from a 2-0 lead.
Alpha already trying to chase down Marked by 8. He sets up one-on-one against K-Dop. Looks for K-Dop's car, but there's the cavalry from Team Vitality. And now a couple of demos. K-Dop, he's on through. Monkey Moon's just respawned, so K-Dop spotting that. But chooses to take his time a little bit more. Sferry Peak lines himself up.
Wow.
K-Dop! Wow! And that is Vitality stepping up to the event.
Game 1. It was K-Dop to Fairy Peak. Now it's Fairy Peak to K-Dop.
Oh my goodness.
The 2 legends, the 2 players with the most experience by far, are using every ounce of it to really apply the pressure to BDS. Game 1, you can say BDS just a bit slow at the gate, but now Vitality showing consistency and, as we talked about, shooting well.
Absolutely, and this might be where you start to worry for BDS. It's typical for them to lose that first game, to get, those jitters out of the way, the emotions, all of the issues in that first game kind of bled into this one, and Vitality kept up with the vision. They found the connections upfield into the corners, and this time, like you said, Johnny, it was Fairy Peak back to K-Dop, paying back that previous pass that we saw in game 1.
I think that is going to be pretty terrifying for BDS because this is also money in the bank later on for Vitality. The more they sort of feint these first-time shots and end up passing it to somebody else on the field, the more they can then rely upon that later on in the series where they can have that play around and then just shoot anyway because they're already prepared over on BDS to try and save whatever that pass is going to be. So far, Vitality have come in with the game plan that has been fully required to take down BDS. Both games so far being within 1 goal, but also both games so far going to Vitality.
So BDS, they have beaten Vitality from this exact same position before. They've been 2 games down, and then they won 4 straight in a grand final in one of the regionals for this year. So it's all about now for BDS to try and get that train rolling. They've got to get the comeback out of the station. And we've not yet seen if Vitality will be able to stop BDS once they do get momentum in their side, should that happen today.
And you can see what Alpha's plan is on Vitality. He's so aggressive, and he has been this way the entire time, but marked by 8. We talk about aggression. Look at this positioning so far forward. He gets the dunk and then finds the first goal.
Slapped it away from him. Marked by 8. Gets his team up by 1. Will that lead be enough? You would suspect no. They're going to have to keep out on the hunt, try and get themselves that second goal. Is Very Peak having an argument. At least he got the 100 boost, and he sticks around. Alpha, infield pass, and this continues to work. K-Dop and Fairy Peak just loitering around the penalty box, and they keep getting the delivery.
Oh my goodness, Alpha with the reset pass. There's absolutely no way the defender was expecting that one. Alpha was angling his car as if to shoot the ball, and at the last second chooses to pass. Clearly, that is Vitality's game plan here. They're setting up every single passing play with a fake shot. All of their run-ups look like a shooting threat, and BDS can't ignore that. But BDS, they have to ignore that. You have to identify the greater threat, which is the player running into a completely undefended position who is about to have an undefendable shot.
Yeah, and it's so difficult as well in this situation, because if you're a little bit nervous, you're feeling tense, odds are you're gonna assume he's gonna take the shot, and you're not worried about anybody else. You just want to be able to find the positioning to get that first save, so you don't expect anybody to go for a flip reset pass, especially in the third game so far in the grand finals. All this pressure, but Alpha, he doesn't care. He's going for the risky plays. He knows what it takes to win this set.
Alpha will play this the same way in Game 1 as he will in a potential Series 3 Game 7 overtime. There is no other way for him, as it has always been. He does avoid being hit by Mark, who I suspect didn't quite have the boost. Lovely passing play yet again. Alpha bumped away. Monkey Moon can follow. Wants to get the block. Almost managed to sneak it underneath. Now an opportunity for extra. Tried to come in. Was never really the angle to shoot from. Vitality, it hasn't been pretty when they're on defense, but they're making it work, and they made this one work yet again. Alpha scrambles into position.
Yeah, it's great ball pressure by Alpha. 2 consecutive plays. He's taking it away from the danger area as they start to establish more of a boost game to contest this pressure that BDS are so famous for. But, you know, BDS, yes, they've had the terrifying seasonal record. We have to, again, just recognize the pedigree they're up against. K-Dop has to be, in my opinion, the greatest striker of all time worldwide. He's made a career for himself just based off hitting the ball hard on target, and he's doing that today.
Something that they've found so easy in previous seasons, that him and Fairy Peak, you might remember at the end of last season, just seemed to be having a little argument between themselves. Who's going to get the passes for us to score? Who gets to take that #1 shooter record? As here goes Fairy Peak, almost managed to find the double tap extra. Getting there early enough. For BDS, 3 major wins. They want to cap it off
the 1v1
with the Grand Championships. K-Dop did incredibly well, marked by 8 off the backboard, and that is a bit wasteful, actually. Fairy Peak should be able to control, wasn't able to. Monkey Moon shot went low. 2 players jumping yet again. Vitality not afraid to double commit save. So far it's worked, but it can also become a little bit of a catastrophe if the touch isn't good enough to get rid of the ball.
We're definitely not seeing as much pressure. Oh, just I say that. Extra Dinksy inside of the post, but it's wide once again. And it's still safely in the corner for Vitality. But where is that terrifying offensive presence marked by 8 that we're so used to seeing? He usually runs a complete riot over Vitality. It's been a bit quiet. Here's Alpha. He's trying to slot bottom right. It's wide open for Fairy, but the last-ditch save, Monkey Moon collapses onto the ball.
Off the post, several shots in a row. BDS have held off. Ridiculous stance there, but you think the shooting, if it was any bit better, Vitality would have found their second goal. We've got a minute left. Both teams have exchanged several punches, but nothing has broken.
And it is a crucial minute for BDS. Would need an extremely rare reverse sweep in a best-of-7 if they are to turn this around. Should they lose it? Back into the midfield. This is where Vitality have been dangerous so often. Ended up arriving a little bit too late and too many cars in the way. Now Monkey Moon looks to break. He's the only one in front of the ball. Didn't really have any passing options. And Mark Bates made a mistake. Up goes Very Peak. Feints out Mark. Pass over to Alpha.
Well played.
And that is well covered. That is what has been missing from BDS. Getting a car in front of it.
Yeah, Monkey Moon read the pass there. Vitality have been going for that same play over and over again, passing from shooting positions. And that time, Monkey Moon saw it coming. He identified the threat waiting in the middle and managed to intercept the pass.
Alpha takes over. Maybe one last opportunity. Who's it going to go to? K-Hop and Fairy Peak again jumping up at the same time. Vitality have been unpunished for those. Last chance, extra off the backboard. They're going to look for Alpha and him and Fairy Peak. What's one more double commit for the roads? One each. Overtime, Johnny. Winner of this one, it's either a series on or it's BDS with a mountain to climb.
Yeah, you feel like BDS really need this one, but should they get it, then what a turnaround we might be looking at, because once BDS do get on the board, they have found it so easy to get on the board again and again in the past.
Back down, Alpha looks to follow. Low boost off the ceiling. Who's the first one to it? It was the blue car of Monkey Moon. Good pressure so far from Vitality. Don't have anyone to run onto one of those infield passes that have served them so well throughout this series. Monkey Moon looking to set over the top, and K-Dot will jump the ball up once again.
I love the way Vitality are moving down the field and trying to keep possession. Even whenever they're on offense, they're getting several back passes or even touches to the far corner. If they don't follow it up after that initial touch in the midfield, it still works out. Where was the defense? The aerial miss from Team BDS. Nowhere to be found.
Oh my goodness. Mark by 8 has missed that one by a mile. I don't know if he was expecting it to hit the ceiling and come down to meet him, but it definitely did not hit the ceiling. It's gone right over his head, and it wasn't a boost problem either. He had 100. That is just Mark by 8 autopiloting a bit too far forward, jumping with too much momentum, and misreading the ball that is just beautifully arced over the halfway line and then into BDS net. That is a disaster, because not only have they lost the third game, but they've lost it on, I think, the worst misplay of the entire series.
As you can see, timeout taken by BDS. They have no other option, really. They haven't shown up at their own level so far. And Vitality, they have taken advantage of every single mistake. And what might be the scariest here, Turtle, is that Team Vitality are getting a lot of chances on the breakaway. BDS putting players forward and then not getting the positioning right. They are making those mistakes. We look back earlier on in the game. Alpha had a chance earlier on, which didn't quite turn in. Vitality could be scoring a lot more from those, and BDS needs to recognize it and make the adjustments.
Well, and it's even more nerve-wracking for BDS because they've got to realize that. You know, it's not just Team Vitality winning slowly and by 1 or 2 goals here and there. There's also, like you said, more opportunities that they could be putting away. There is a huge gap in the Team BDS defense that needs to be fixed. Johnny Boy, you alluded to it as well. It's the passing and reading those plays from Vitality. You've got to find an interception, put a player in between that passing lane and the shooting lane, and maybe you could have a better chance at transitioning and catching Team Vitality too far forward.
And, you know, it looked like they had solved that problem. Monkey Moon with an exceptional interception at the end of the regulation time here. I think that was, for me, you know, a really big turning point. It showed that BDS had identified Vitality's main game plan going forward. But that's just a straight-up misplay. I've got to think that Mark by 8 was expecting that to hit the ceiling, because he jumped as if he was expecting it to hit the ceiling. But actually, instead of booming the ball out of defense, the Vitality defender actually just arced it gracefully. And that's something the Vitality have also been utilizing to their advantage. They're not just slamming the ball towards BDS and giving BDS all that momentum to utilize when they fire it right back. How many times have we seen BDS this season dominating those matches where the ball's pinging around the field and they can get themselves up to full speed? I think in the more awkward moments where you're having to play a bit more slowly and a bit more precisely, Vitality have been extremely consistent.
Oh, here we go. Game number 4. And surprisingly, we are looking at a potential sweep against BDS. They need that quick timeout to have worked out well for them. As a Vitality, keep doing what you're doing. It's not stopped working just yet, despite every single game being within 1. There's that Chaos extra. Wanted to try and get past all 3 players on the goal line. Nice feint out there from Mark by 8. Looks to go for the top corner, and it didn't quite drop for him.
Yeah, it looks like he just couldn't make up his mind whether he's going to try and double that one in or if he's going to just try and air dribble in directly. Now there's nobody back. Fairy Peak denied. Mark by 8 only keeps him out for so long though because Alpha 54 is also there. A pretty heroic initial save after the whole team went for the ball.
If you didn't think BDS were panicking, check out this play. All 3 players up. Marked by 8 is forced to pick up the pieces and try to put them back together. But it's far too much to ask for. Team Vitality, of course, they've got somebody in position to punish. It's Alpha 54, the first goal, and they might just get this sweep in the first series.
Well, he's trying to pick up the pieces for an incomplete puzzle because BDS are missing something right now. And, you know, they need to find that something pretty quickly. Here's Mark again. Doesn't actually land the reset, so there's no way that he can accelerate himself into the ball. Huge dunk there. Fairy Peak sets up Alpha 54 for one of his own, and he's going to score it. The threat was there, and Mark by 8's pre-jump didn't get him close.
I mean, you can just see all the respect that Mark by 8 is giving Alpha 54, and Alpha knows that. He takes advantage, goes for the flip reset, slows the pace of the ball down, and it completely throws Mark by 8 for a loop.
BDS have not been swept in a best of 7 ever. We are 3.5 minutes away from it happening for the first time in this team's career. And this is the event and the opportunity really showing how much pressure it puts players under. We know just how experienced Vitality are. BDS have not been able to deal with it. We've seen triple commits, mistakes on the ball, misreads off the ceiling. Everything that could have gone wrong for BDS has gone wrong for BDS, but we also know that they can switch this around, as well as they've got another series in hand. Should they end up losing this one? Monkey Moon off that backboard. There's extra. He's too far forward to really take a shot, so instead he keeps the pressure on. First one to it is Mark by 8. Oh, very big. And it drops lovingly over to K-Dop, who could not have asked for it to settle in a better position. Monkey Moon one more time, looks for the top corner. And Vitality, as they have been all series long, they're happy to commit to that ball every single time. They trust the recovery.
And we just saw the demo there from Fairy Peak with a far corner shot from Monkey Moon is gonna put one in, start the movement now, and try to prevent Team Vitality from making history on them.
A strong shot by Monkey Moon over the top of 2 goalkeepers, and they do still have time on the board. Should this game end, as many in this series already have, with BDS pressuring, and they might have a real chance to come back here, but they have to stop making mistakes. Vitality have been brilliant today, and this is just testament to their preparation. It's testament to the organization that back this amazing team who have already, you know, put themselves in the Hall of Fame for competitive Rocket League, but unsatisfied as always. K-Dop, always a winner. Fairy Peak alongside him for so long.
One of the reasons I was happy to see the timeout. We got to see some of the amazing facilities these teams are using. So do get extra, can't get the ball past Fairy Peak. As well to at least challenge 2 players, and very difficult to create opportunities whilst you're over in the corner. BDS don't really have many other options right now. They've got to get something going. Monkey Moon very close to extra, off the backboard. Fairy Peak, what a touch over the top of the oncoming challenge, but still pressure from BDS. They look to tie it. Oh! Fairy Peak, who palms the ball away. Still at 2-1. How much K-Dop this time, tasked with a save.
Oh my, the defense from Vitality has to be making BDS question themselves. These are some vicious shots that they are firing on the net, and they've been saved back-to-back by pre-jumps.
Unbelievable. We've even seen some demos then coming out of Team Vitality. You get the pre-jump save, and then you relieve the pressure, but look at the 50-50 game from Mark by 8. It's into the corner, though. It might not matter. Off the post. Maybe the follow-up. He finds it. Alpha 54 is on fire.
Nobody believed.
Look at it. Unreal. Time and time again. We're seeing clutch saves, but there's always another shot, and usually it's BDS who have the other shot, Shogun. Today it's Vitality. They lead by 2. Are they really about to do this? Are they about to 4-0 BDS in the first series? BDS, thank goodness this is a set, or else they'd be in massive trouble.
Now Fairy Peak, he's going to seal the deal. 3 goals up. And to me, lads, The major difference has been the quality in the saves this game. You saw how it worked out for the previous goal. Save, instantly follow up because it's trickling into the midfield very slowly. A great position for a third man to come in for a shot. But when, somehow Vitality, we've seen the quality of their saves, but we're also the quality of where they're getting the ball to afterwards. They're pushing it into the far side of the field. It's been impossible for BDS to get that follow-up shot.
It's just unreal. Alpha is dancing around them once again. There's nothing BDS can do at the moment. It's the most one-sided game of the series.
I mean, it's just so layered from Team Vitality, and their ability to keep the composure is unmatched right now compared to BDS. Whenever they're under pressure, they're finding these pre-jump saves. You expect them to break down eventually, but they make recoveries with every player, and then right here, you find a pre-jump save, but they get immediately back into rotation, like here from K-Dop, and get that clear out. It's unbelievable to watch, especially against a Team BDS that seems to be back in shooting form here in Game 4.
K-Dop looks to get it back over to Alpha. Will Monkey Moon be able to stop it?
Wow.
It doesn't even
There it
matter
is.
if he had.
GG.
It's 4-0. BDS
Unbelievable.
have not been swept in a best-of-7 all season until now. Team Vitality put one hand on the trophy.
Wow. Well, who said that it was going to be one-sided? Who said there's no point tuning in? It's already BDS.
Sure, everyone said
who have got the
mate.
victory.
They just weren't right.
Production team, quickly start making the congrats Vitality for winning the entire RLCS championships. They only made one for BDS, but they're going to need to get to work pretty quick. If Vitality can dispose of BDS like they did in the second series, we're going to be in for a quick one, but not for the reason we expected.
And it was a very abysmal start for Team BDS in the first two games. Game 3, it was a bit in between. They were finding their form, but still making issues. But then in Game 4, their shooting, like I mentioned earlier, seemed to be far better than anything we've seen all series long. And they tested the defense of Team Vitality, and Team Vitality aced that test, found every pre-jump save, stayed in rotation, and managed to transition out. Lovely, Shogun, you mentioned the quality of touches and the intention of where they're going after they transition out. It was beautiful, and that was one heck of a statement in the first series.
Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself just yet. One, because I do want to see this go to our third series, but two, we have to remind ourselves, apart from that last game, they were all within one goal. Every single match was on a knife's edge, especially game 2 that went to that overtime. We could have seen a very different series, but Vitality were the ones that were able to hold their nerve, and they did it in phenomenal fashion. We're going to see whether or not they can keep that going. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, it's series number 2. This very well could be it for the European season, Johnny, and I think it goes to show just how solid BDS have been this season, where even despite being swept, they're still being predicted by the desk.
Yeah, this is crazy, but I for one would love to see another series after this. So you got to low-key root for BDS here. Also, their entire legacy is on the line here. They've built up one of the most impressive resumes that we've ever seen in competitive Rocket League history over the course of the last year, and now it's all on the line because if they lose 2 straight series to Vitality, everybody knows that there's a new king in EU, and it's the old king at the same time. They're back. At their best form that we've ever seen them.
But here we go. Series number 2 underway. Vitality. One major step towards the championship made. They just have to win 4 more games and they will secure it. And Alpha might be a major player to them, Turtle, in order to do so.
Yeah. And I love that interview with Extra. I mean, hearing him talk about, where he came from, his expectations coming into the season, how he didn't even expect to win everything, let alone win anything. This man had 0 expectations, but then you come out and win nearly every single event, and then you come out into the grand finals, though, and you have swapped that mentality. You've got to have some level of expectations coming against Vitality, and then you get swept so much to handle mentally for Team BDS. What have they changed within this break that we had between series? We're going to find out right now in this first game.
Well, they need Extra now more than ever. He's been the player to transform this team's run. They used to be just a middling team in Europe, and then he joined and they dominated the region. But I think they need him as just that solid third man right now, because Monkey Moon hasn't looked like his usual dominant self. Marked by 8 has to get forward. He has to play that role that we're used to seeing from him. He needs to get up in Vitality's faces and try and make their life more difficult.
Marked by 8 loves going for demos as well, getting physical on the pitch. We barely saw any of that from Team Vitality. I mean, you can obviously take a look at the boost factor and how they were getting starved out, but regardless, you've got to stay aggressive. If you fall under that pressure, it could be deadly, especially when everything is on the line.
BDS, we know that they can dominate series. Can they do something that we haven't had to see from them this season, and that is find the grit required to make this comeback and bounce back from being swept? Here is Monkey Moon up against Fairy Peak. Not usually a 1v1 that you tend to win. And again, you can say that about pretty much any 1v1 that you've got over against Vitality. Star-studded. As now over to Mark by 8. Not the best first touch from him. Extra backflip. He does have Monkey Moon up in support, but it's wasteful. They had options. Didn't take them.
Oh!
That was a wasteful first touch from him. And Mark by 8, much like he did in the first series, slaps it away from him for 1-0.
Yeah, just a missed touch there from Alpha. Wanted to catch a piece of that so that the ball stays with him. It bounced away from him. And it's Mark by 8 in his usual role, cutting off the play as early as he can.
That's what we were missing from Team BDS in the previous series. Mark by 8, getting a bit aggressive, predicting where Vitality are trying to move with the ball. He's accurate on the shot, everything working out. And Team BDS, while it's only one goal, it seems to show signs of life now coming into the second series.
Probably a bit of a weird position for a lot of the neutral fans out there today, rooting for Team BDS, trying to get ourselves through to that third series. Well, they've made a good start towards doing exactly that. Monkey Moon over to the wall. Wants to get the back pass over the Fairy Peak. Doesn't happen. Mark by 8 will offer a much more difficult back pass to Fairy Peak. Monkey Moon to try and make it 2. What a save! Well, Vitality have not lost that part of the game. And here's the transition side of it as well. Vitality always so dangerous in these spots. K-Dub off the demo. What a save from Monkey Moon. 1v2. He did not care.
And that is huge for BDS. Monkey Moon dominating in a defensive position, looking completely unfazed while 2 players come at him. And now Mark by 8 has put in a very effective touch to corner the ball, and it bounces clear of Vitality's man waiting in the middle. Alpha not able to get a shot off that time. All signs pointing at an improved BDS coming into the second series.
Off the wall. Alpha looks to get there first. Monkey Moon looking very sharp in this second series. Marked by 8, taps over the top. Another great save. So far, BDS have been the stronger of the 2 teams out here in game number 1 and could very well have found themselves 2 goals to nothing up. Monkey Moon just lost the ball. Who's going to go for it? Nobody. Everybody backing down.
I'm trying to pay attention a little bit to the Alpha boost now. You know, I've been watching his meter, trying to see where he's moving down the field, if he's able to grab those midfield boosts. And right here, you even see Monkey Moon stole the midfield boost from Alpha, which did not happen at all in the first series. It was Alpha being dominant, but now BDS, this is what they do when they have boost. They're winning challenges, but there's no follow-up. Finally, from Extra, a shot put on net, but Vitality, they keep it still within 1.
Monkey Moon goes it through. Oh my goodness. Vitality just keep deflecting the ball to safety. I don't know how they're doing it, because all 3 players look to be committed every play, but the recoveries are holding up, the boost is holding up, and they're keeping this within 1.
BDS don't have to worry about conceding a goal if they keep the ball over air. Monkey Moon taps it back down. Extra over to Mark by 8. All 3 players involved. So much time wasted off the clock. Fairy Peak taps with beating 2 players. He's
no way.
Extra recovered in time. And that will give BDS their first game of the set. But they came so close to throwing it away, Johnny.
Oh my goodness, that was terrifying. BDS have easily played the best game yet right there, but it's still not easy. Vitality are so difficult to get past today. I mean, so many of the... I mean, Queso apparently were knocked out of the tournament, but I'm still seeing shades of them here with the triple commits in defense, followed up by quick recoveries. Everybody just seems to land in the right position, and the ball's in a perfectly safe place. So Vitality really bringing Queso's playbook to the grand final here. BDS did get that one key goal, and it was marked by 8. Getting forward, that's where we want to see it.
Well, and you're thinking back now to that final moment with Extra landing. If he, positions his car any other spot on the field, that could be the end for Team BDS and their lead. It could have been tied up, but they do recover, managed to get Extra to get back in the position he needed to be last second, and it worked out, but it was still close, just like you said, Johnny.
So BDS finally on the correct side of a 1-goal game. We've only had one of the 5 that we've seen so far not be within that. That was the blowout that Vitality finished our last series off with. Outside of that, every single game, razor thin. K-Dop goes straight for net. Oh, it's just off the post. Well, offering a little bit of a threat there, and for Vitality, it's not often they've gone for the first-time shot. You might as well go for it. This is what they've done more often.
Yeah.
Infield pass, BDS much more prepared for it this time around.
Yeah, that's a great interception. Look at BDS, they're stacking players there. I think it was Monkey Moon at the 4th game who managed to pull that one off. Now they were all on the same page here, so great adaptation by BDS. They've realized that that's what Vitality are going for, and they're still going for it, that infield pass off of fake shots. And the BDS look like they're reading it a lot more.
I've started to notice here for Team Vitality, they're moving to the sidewalls much more frequently. Instead of taking it to the corners of BDS or throwing it off the backboard, they want to keep possession, hit it to the far side. There's a shot, though, from BDS off the crossbar. Save now from K-Dop as he looks to transition it out. But we've seen Team BDS moving up in the midfield. They're winning challenges. But now here's Alpha 54 with a pinch across. It's back and forth, Shogun.
That first goal has proven crucial so far this series and throughout this entire set. Monkey Moon. Not anymore. K-Dop already takes it over. As goes through the far corner of Team BDS. Extra takes his time, realizes that pressure is well and truly on. This is good from BDS. They're not trying to speed out too quickly, although we don't quite know where the other 2 players went for the team.
Oh, what a touch.
That does put the team under a little bit of pressure. Marked by 8, back into the corner. 0 boost for Extra. He's going to happily pick that up. Now be the target man. They look to chase down to the other side of the field. That ball is hardly ever touching the floor right now. We're playing at that sort of pace, but a miss. Oh! Marked by 8 will clean up.
Once again, it's Mark who's in the right place at the right time, and I think the key touch for me is the one that happened before it. Mark, not too far forward, intercepts the clear, and he really put K-Dop in an awkward position there. K-Dop tried to catch the ball, but it proved to be too difficult.
Yeah, and that's so tough for K-Dop, especially whenever you have ball cam on. You see that ball float all the way to the top. You can't determine where it's going to bounce as easily. You just have to pre-jump and hope you can find some type of misdirection off the post. It's saved, the double commit. But Vitality, keep it within 1. This is a defensive stance from them, but they're still trailing.
It's been a defensive masterclass. If you want to give it anything, at least the goal line saves. It is taking quite something to try and beat the goal this so far this set. K-Dop back to the midfield. Extra blocking it immediately. Very Peak realizing that half the game is gone. They've got to start creating something over on the Vitality side. Good pop over, marked by 8. Can't afford to misread that one. But Extra cuts the rotation, and Alpha will be beat to it. Who's going to be first on the follow-up? Monkey Moon looks to try and drop down onto the shot. Not for the first time. We would have seen him go for a ceiling recovery into a goal. We'll go to the other side of the field. Monkey Moon powers it. He's got marked by 8. Sets up off the backboard. Monkey Moon beat cleanly by Fairy Peak.
BDS have got to be careful here. They're having the run of play at the moment, but Vitality are pulling out clutch saves. I don't know how they keep doing it, but their goal line defense has been unreal in this set, and BDS can't triple commit on any of these plays. They can't go completely all in. They need someone constantly recovering to cover those counterattacks. Here come Vitality. It's off the post. That was, I think, the best chance Vitality have had this game. They're really looking threatening at the moment. BDS have to be so careful. That's brilliant position by Monkey Moon. Just dodges the demo expertly. Here's Alpha 54, though. Shoots low, and it is deflected up high.
Well, somehow, it's still 1-0. Vitality coming oh so very close, and they might come closer. Yeah, off the backboard. Fairy Peak chooses not to go for it. Realize he would have left K-Dop in a 2v1. Not afford to do that just yet, but we are starting to hit all the panic stage of this game. Yeah. That 1-goal lead becoming much more effective, and it's almost a 2.
And we were talking about the Vitality defense and how we're all so confused as to how they keep getting these pre-jump saves, and then they can recover after a double commit. But how do they transition out now? In the first series, they were able to find the save even after a double commit and instantly burst into the other side. It's not the case here. They go to the BDS half. It's a little bit shaky. We don't have somebody following it up as the third man every single time. And there's a couple of opportunities missed. And BDS, they are loving it because the midfield is all theirs.
Yeah, they've got to think of something different. The cheeky infield passes are not working. That's another good save, but it's in off of Fairy Peak's car. Extra puts it past them, and BDS are on a roll.
The recovery from BDS, you've got to mention it. You've got to take note of it. they have been able to bounce back from a sweep that's never happened in a best of 7 against them this season, and then come out, make a recovery, little bit of a break, mentally reset, and then fight off against Team Vitality.
Gibbs put it best. I remember this quote from a couple of years ago where he said that the last thing you want to be recognized for as a team is your ability to get saves. Because that probably means that you're in the wrong position on the field, and that's kind of where Vitality have found themselves throughout this game. 10 seconds left. BDS look to have secured it, and they've got themselves a 2-game lead. Well, we want to know how they could do under adversity. The answer is as well as they've done throughout the entire season.
Huge response. A champion's response from BDS there, because they looked completely lost. It wasn't entirely up to Vitality, although they had much of a say in it. I think Vitality have totally stunned BDS in that first series. They came out with a level BDS weren't ready for, and BDS crumbled under the immense pressure that they're in right now. But that little break between the two series, they've clearly got their heads in the game, and they've gone for a completely hard reset. They've switched themselves off and on again, and now they're here to play 2-0 BDS.
We do find ourselves in another timeout here, but this one on the side of Vitality. And the question is, what are they trying to implement here in their strategy? It's a bit panicky, a couple of double commits. They're relying on that defensive save frequently. Somebody finding a pre-jump, somebody then getting back in rotation, but they can't get the transitions that were working earlier. Something has got to change for them. And to me personally, it doesn't even feel like Monkey Moon has hit his peak performance yet. There was a couple of chances off the backboard. He could have gone for a double tap, didn't get the best first touch, but if he warms up any bit more, it could be the end now for Series 2 for Team Vitality.
Yeah, they've got levels they can go to. They've definitely been better than this even this season, Shogun. I think BDS have shown us time and time again that they can and they will show up when the pressure climaxes.
Well, that's the thing, is I don't feel like Vitality are playing any worse here. I think that they've came in with the exact same play style, committing to it pretty much the exact same way. It's just that BDS, as you mentioned, switched off, switched back on again, come back in with a brand new mindset, and they are executing better than we saw earlier on. It's becoming a little bit of a coach battle now as the strategies end up changing as we go through this. I wonder what Malt's got up his sleeve, or if his entire strategy is just, yeah, get me on, lads. I'll end up winning us this championship. But from Vitality, a different use as well of the timeout. They've come into this and they've done it after 2 losses, unlike BDS, who did it after 3, Johnny. I do feel like this is better use of it. If you go 3 games down, the series is already pretty much done for you. You've got to try and use it after 2.
Well, let's find out. It's game 3. Vitality coming off the timeout. They've got the whole organization behind them. They've got a strategist and who knows what else going on back there. But that's got to be slightly worrying for BDS as a pinch almost rolls into Vitality's net already here. But now, the faster pace has favored BDS. I think really Vitality have got to try and slow this one down again, because in those awkward moments, in those slow play moments, I think they've been the better team.
Well, BDS love to play this battle of clears, where it's just corner to corner, and you're waiting for somebody to make an unreal redirect or maybe a flip reset. Vitality, they don't have the edge in that aspect. They are much better with the short little touches between each other in the midfield, but BDS are forcing them out of it, and you can see how it affects them. Vitality forced on defense even more. Monkey Moon going in for the corner bounce, out to extra. It's a clean play, but fortunately Alpha got bumped into the save.
Yeah, probably the happiest Alpha has ever been to be bumped in his entire career. Didn't really have to do too much work. He's had to do a little bit more to put that one on target. Vitality, no, taking this one keeps them well within this series. There's Alpha yet again. That's an awkward bounce. He can't take the shot. Well played from K-Dop. Didn't allow Extra to instantly get the stop. But Mark Baye really has been the difference maker so far this series. His positioning has been brilliant. And as always, he has been the general, the commander of the midfield across both teams.
He's the king disruptor. He has to keep doing that because he's the one who's dictating the pace at the moment. He's keeping this moving quickly, and Vitality are having to make some pretty good reads to keep up with BDS. Here's Mark again, just breaking up that rotation, getting those little touches on the ball to surprise Vitality. And Vitality have managed to pretty much even this one out. Monkey Moon double into the middle, but no one's there. He was, I think, looking for the shot there, but the angle was incredibly difficult even for the great Monkey Moon.
A couple of uncharacteristic whiffs too as well, and as I say it, this is Team Vitality not making reads off the backboard, and even on a couple of small touches from Team BDS, the follow-up, too much for Vitality.
Alpha just couldn't quite get the read. A little bit too far away, and it's 1-0 already to BDS. Imagine this, lads. Sweet, followed up with a sweet.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Come on.
It would be, yeah, quite the statement made. Very much. BDS's legacy of the season, Johnny, very much on the line here. Can win everything leading up to the championships, but you got to win the championships. And stayed out. It won't stay out for too much longer. Very peak, able to finish off the job.
Extra got bumped into the net here, recovers, throws himself at the ball, and to be honest, he's unfortunate that didn't bounce into a safe location. He did everything he could to deny the initial goal, but Vitality are back in this one. And another quick response, not for the first time this set.
That one hurts for Extra because he got the recovery, but the timing of his flip was just a little bit off. He hit the ball with a bit of an awkward spot on his car. It didn't directly go out, but instead to the left, and because of that, somebody else had to get another save on the goal line, and nobody was rotating in time. Extra forced to get a save, but it's off the crossbar again the second time, and BDS escaped.
Well, you don't get any extra points for hitting the crossbar that many times. There's Extra now to the other side of the field. Looks to try and set up. He's got marked by 8 right in the middle of the field. Not going to go for him. Instead, Mark Tassel trying to keep the pressure going, and it doesn't end up doing so. K-Dop breaks away. One-on-one against Monkey Moon. Not the best flick, but it's goal!
Monkey Moon might be the guy everybody's talking about right now, but K-Dop has always been the guy. 1v1 on Monkey Moon. And that's the play Monkey Moon's been the favorite in all season long. Not this time. K-Dop's a shooter.
The ground game from Vitality. That's what they need to rely on. Give them some dribbles, slow the pace down. Fairy Peak's trying to do it again, force a better 50-50. This is where Vitality can thrive here, Shogun.
Crossbar, but yes, you're absolutely right. And it's not the first time that we've seen Vitality on the breakaway. They just haven't scored from it all that often. That's the first one that they've really converted. Look back to Alpha's kind of scuffed shot in the last series. Didn't end up requiring it. They definitely required that, though, from K-Dop as Monkey Moon. Back to the corner. Minute and 30 left. K-Dop and Fairy Peak both go up for it. Alpha, you've got a little bit of time to try and cover for your team here, dude, and he does it very well.
Yeah, it's a clear for Monkey Moon, but hasn't gone over the whole team. It's right back into the blue end. Vitality calmly letting the clock do the work for them here. Just keeping the ball in positions that BDS can't utilize. They're making sure not to hit the back wall in a bad place. That's the bar, though. Fairy Peak denied by the woodwork, and that could have easily been 3-1.
Vitality will be petitioning later to get that crossbar about half a meter upwards. They've scored 3 or 4 times, but one touch. That's a little bit too wide. But there's the threat from Vitality. They can get you on the break every single time. K-Dop looks for the block. He's done exactly that. I expect Vitality to just trade one player after another here. They don't need to overcommit. This is exactly why. Marked by 8. Looks to try and break away. K-Dop already up. Doesn't beat Monkey Moon, but it's not the best hit there from Monkey Moon. It's no hit at all from Alpha. A little bit of jitters as we head into the final 30 seconds. With the shot saved, all 3 required. Up goes Monkey Moon. Sets up for nobody around. And is back over to the blue side of the field.
That had to be off the backboard there. Vitality had the goal area completely covered. And now time is completely getting away for BDS.
Monkey Moon. Task for keeping the pressure up, but look at Vitality's positioning.
Seconds.
They've got everybody around. One more to seal it. Almost added one for the highlight reel. He's still alive. K-Dop picks it out. Realizes he doesn't need any contact. And Vitality answer back.
That was an unbelievable game. We saw creativity from both sides. The follow-up touch from Mark by 8 to get the first goal for BDS, but then you even saw a couple of midfield pinch attempts. I think it was Fairy Puke who got that under hit in the midfield. K-Dop with the dribble. The last few attempts, BDS getting goal line saves. This was action-packed and everything you could expect and want from a series like this.
Yeah, great game by both teams, but it's Vitality who take it, and it was quite unlucky almost for BDS because that save from Extra was unreal, and it just hasn't bounced into a good position. He did, in fact, he's full credit for the save there. Just Vitality had the wide open net afterwards. As for, the overall series at hand, BDS still have the advantage, and I think they're still in a good place here. They shouldn't be too bothered by that loss. Like, you know, no tactical timeout here, because it's definitely still, I think, okay at the moment. But they've got to bring the team plays back. Vitality are outplaying them in the midfield.
And look at how good Vitality have done. We've seen so many double commits from them, but they're always covered. There's always somebody left to help out on the defensive side.
Yep.
Vitality doing an outstanding job so far. Been one of their best defensive performances we've ever seen from them, as that somehow stayed out. Well, there's a double commit that somehow managed to work, and somewhere out there, Greasy Meister has got a big old smile on his face. He knew that that was always going to happen.
Calculated by Extra. Of course, he knew what he was doing there, just slamming the ball into the post, but you know, the post wasn't all that friendly to him the last time he did that, so I'm surprised to see him forgive the post so quickly.
The boost is in favor of Team Vitality. You can see BDS were rushing back. No boost on the rotation. Vitality kept this ball in the half of BDS, and that's all they needed to do, because eventually one gap would open up. You give the Star Striker K-Dop the ball, and he's going to punish.
Well, it's been happening all day. K-Dop is always ready for those quick center balls, and he was ready for that one. Far faster to it than any BDS player. They've got to keep reading those. So they've got to, first of all, start reading them again, because they were for a while earlier. But that one was just K-Dop wide open in the middle. And you know what happens when K-Dop receives a pass and he's wide open in the middle in a grand final. BDS down by 1.
Championship Sunday K-Dop. It is something that you never expect to see every single season. Here's Fairy Peak. He chooses to back down. Great discipline from Fairy Peak to stay away. That must have been so tempting to try and take the shot. Now K-Dop tasked with the clear. That is here about as beautiful as you would have wanted. Monkey Moon actually kind of caught out by it. Fairy Peak. To Monkey Moon, and I think that was quite going to go in anyway, but Monkey Moon just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, the plays by Monkey Moon, consecutive effective touches when he's under pressure. Now here comes Alpha. Mark's going to just beat into it and chip it to the sidewall. They've got to look out for Fairy Peak here. He's waiting in the middle. Pass gets cut off before it gets started.
Oh, there's so many times I'm looking at the boost meter from Team BDS. They go for one touch. All their boost is used up. And then that gives Vitality the opportunity, if they get that counterattack, to absolutely make some moves on offense. We had the demo come through, but the missed shot.
How on earth is it still 1-0? That was the easiest shot of the game so far. And somehow just could not turn it in. Vitality will look to try and go again. Extra. Crunching tackle from him, ends up taking the ball away, but marked by 8, very easily beaten. It's been quieter so far in the last 7 minutes of gameplay. Unable to quite get the read on the rotation. Here comes Extra. Has he got something magical for us? No, not quite. Looked for the transition. K-Dop, huge power each time he's hitting it. There is no soft touch when it comes to K-Dop. It is pure vicious power on each clear.
Yeah, that was fantastic control by Mark by 8 as well. Just graciously collecting the ball on the back wall.
Oh my.
They're still looking extremely vulnerable every time Vitality drop the ball down into the middle. Here's K-Dop again. What did the double? Extra's got his number. Extra really doing so much work for BDS defensively at the moment. And now here's Monkey Moon. Can he avenge the 1v1 loss? Yes, he can. He gets one back on K-Dop.
And it's the exact same play that K-Dop used, but you can see Fairy Peak was going for the midfield boost, trying to keep the starvation on, but Monkey Moon got the perfect flip on the timing, and then continued forward with the dribble, got the flick, and like you said, got revenge on K-Dop.
K-Dop will consider himself to be the representative of Europe, and with the amount Monkey Moon's been considered this year, actually, Alpha instantly answers back. 2-1, and it's straight off the kickoff. Fairy Peak fakes out 1, shimmies around 2, and Alpha has his perfect opportunity.
Oh, that's just disgusting by Fairy Peak. He's really just so composed in that position. So many players would have rushed that. They would have wasted the opportunity. It would have been squandered, but Fairy Peak takes his time, picks out the pass perfectly, and Vitality lead with just under 2 minutes to go.
Oh, it's all about that stutter from Fairy Peak, getting the mind game and then moving forward. You're in the grand finals. $80,000 is on the line, and you still go for the mind game, try to outplay BDS instead of going for the super safe play. That is ridiculous, and the composure we expect from Vitality.
Fairy Peak can't quite make contact with the ball. 90 seconds left here. What do BDS have up their sleeve? Do have Extra waiting for him. You really see Alpha doesn't care. He's on the pre-jump. And we have got confident Alpha entering the server. Will it matter too much? A bit of a scramble over the goal line. But it's good enough from Vitality. They will try and get rid of it. Fairy Peak up against Monkey Moon. A bump as well on Extra. So Mark Bay has to try and buy his team a little bit of time. Does have Extra over to the midfield. That demo will at least slow Mark down just a little bit. There's another double commit though from BDS. Will they be able to follow up? Extra already around.
There it is.
Got very close to missing, but it was good enough.
BDS rise to the occasion. Vitality have absolutely brought it to them, but now BDS equalize and the momentum swings back in their favor for this series at least. I'm not ready to say the set is in their favor just yet. This is BDS we're talking about. We knew that they were going to bring the fight, and that's another chance for them here. Monkey Moon this time in the mind game on the kickoff. The follow-up is Vitality's.
Alpha, 0 boost. Tends not to ever care. You've still got to respect him. Fairy Peak thought about jumping. Alpha called him off. Extra goes to the first-time shot. Always going to be at least saved from Vitality, but they are still under pressure.
30 seconds.
Swarmed for that second goal. There's Extra. Takes it back down. Gets the block. Monkey Moon adds a little bit of extra onto that block. 20 seconds here. And Fairy Peak looking to try and guide the ball away.
Clutch control by Fairy Peak at the back. Who's going to have the moment? We saw one from Mark, but it wasn't the right kind of moment in the first series.
5 seconds.
He blundered and Vitality were able to score.
Off the
Maybe
backboard.
a huge play this time. It's overtime that's beckoning at the moment. K-Dot just wanting the ground and he gets it.
Here we go. Opportunity here for BDS to get themselves series points. Just got to find a way past that Vitality defense. It sounds easy when you say it aloud. BDS know for a fact that it certainly has not been easy at all. So Vitality get this. 2 each. Series is blown wide open. Great block by Mark. Over to the midfield. Monkey Moon. Has he got anyone up in support? Yes, he does. Extra off the backboard. K-Dot takes his time. Realized the pressure wasn't there. And Mark Bay, crucial touch to avoid Fairy Peak getting an immediate shot.
That's huge by Mark. He's really done a good job there, not double committing, because it would have been tempting to dive in on that one, but he stays back.
We need Mark to stay aggressive. That positioning, finding interceptions, that is what BDS rely on and they need in this overtime to prevent Vitality from tying up this series. He is so pivotal right now with his playstyle. He's got to keep moving forward.
Monkey Moon up. Gets the ball past 2 players. He's got Extra in support, and that's great stop there from K-Dot. But they don't keep out too much longer. Off the backboard, Alpha over in support. And now they look to break away. Alpha looks to try and follow. He doesn't get the ball. He hasn't got any boost. Great recovery from BDS. And they set up their lines incredibly well.
Yeah, what a play by Alpha. Ground double touch to turn defense into attack. And now Fairy Peak chips it middle for Alpha. The win! Vitality tie!
Fairy Peak, what a dribble. He's been doing this all game long. We saw the mind game off the kickoff. Then he comes through, hits the brakes right under the ball, gets the chip into the midfield. Vitality using those small touches between each other to maneuver around the BDS defense and get the overtime goal.
So BDS, here's the question for you. You used it after game 3 last time. Will you use it that little bit earlier this time? They've got the timeout in their hands. Still haven't heard any shout of them actually using it though. But lads, again, another 1 goal game. And there's the shout. BDS are not going to use it, I don't think.
I think they are. I think I heard that they are, but we'll find out in a second. They're
no,
another correction. They're not using it. Don't listen to me. I'm getting a bit too ahead of myself. But BDS, I really feel like they should have used one there, to be honest, because Vitality are on a roll. That's 2 games in a row where they've outshot BDS. That's 2 games in a row where they've been more clutch under pressure. And my goodness, Fairy Peak, the assists that he's producing are just at a level that BDS can't match at the moment.
I mean, it's got to be a point of frustration for BDS. I think they're not calling a timeout because they felt like that last game was theirs to win. They had pressure. They had offensive movements down the field with Mark by 8, those transitions I talked about. It was all there. BDS just couldn't connect and find that execution. They don't want to wait. They want to get back into the game.
Vitality are 10 minutes of top quality Rocket League away from crowning themselves European champions. Yet again. They have been the consistent of Europe. try and add yet another feather to their cap. Over to the midfield. Up goes Mark Bayet. Not the best shot, but here's no follow!
Well played.
And BDS have got the perfect start.
Mark Bayet just seeing what's in front of him here. He just sees two defenders in the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Chips it into the bar. Extra's behind him. Up the fastest. 1-0 BDS, and they've done well here. Mark again, just choosing the right option when he's presented with multiple.
And that's just proof that Rocket League is a game of, you know, high-pressure decisions. You've got to make the right choice. You can see Mark Bayet just popped it up off the backboard. Absolutely obliterated the defense. More composure from BDS. And I'd like to see more of that. It's what Vitality did so well from Fairy Peak in the previous game. Maybe take a bit of that strategy into your own.
Mark. Can't stop K-Dot. Nobody really ever has been able to. Extra, good clear from him. 1 minute down. This is turning into quite the series we've got from ourselves. Lots of people out there hoping for a third. Vitality hoping for anything but Turtle as they look to try and put the pressure on. Nothing really around. K-Dot back to the midfield. Alpha sees it go skying past him.
And BDS time to stay calm, really. They have to be so careful with the options that they pick. And I think Monkey Moon's out of position for that one.
Oh,
He's way out of position for that one. Alpha walks it into the net. But that's exactly what we're talking about. You've got to choose very carefully what you move up on. And Monkey Moon has picked a bad one there.
It seems like the entire defense of BDS didn't even expect Alpha 54 to win that challenge so strongly. He came in one flip, and that's all it took for him to instantly snag possession and create a turnaround on the midfield. That was unbelievable work from Alpha 54. And that aggression is paying off for Team Vitality.
Speaking of work, it's been a lot of work to score in previous games. This one doesn't require much at all. And Monkey Moon, I think he'll be the happiest to be the one to score this time around. Completely makes up for the previous goal. But yeah, that is quite the whiff, Turtle.
Oh, that's painful. That one, you've got to be feeling that one if you're Team Vitality. There's nothing that BDS did extra spicy or special to get you to force that mistake.
Oh, very big. He just wishes he had 1, maybe 2 more boosts and he would have had this, but he had 0, so he couldn't get to it. Alpha denied by Monkey Moon. Huge solo defense by Monkey Moon once again. It's all about keeping the ball in the corner for both these teams. Centers have been deadly at either end. There's K-Dot just rotating back towards the middle of the field. He knows that's where BDS are likely to be waiting to intercept the clears.
Fairy Peak can't beat Monkey Moon as he looks to try and get the setup just a little bit away. Now the break. Good boost steal from Extra. Just make sure that the car is some sort of obstacle.
Wow.
It takes away the ability to really put offensive pressure on over off the backboard. Second touch. BDS did not want to see that. They did want to see, however, Monkey Moon with the clear.
That's huge. Maybe again, you see BDS, they're sending 2 options at the ball. Like here's K-Dot, tries to go under Monkey Moon, who stays goal side of it. Extra equal to Fairy Peak's follow-up. BDS are matching Vitality blow for blow here as Vitality try to slug their way through once again.
Mark, midfield to Extra, look to get the pass mid-air back to Mark. Well, BDS seem confident in their own mechanical abilities if they're going for plays like that. Right now, mechanical goals is not really the first thing they require. What they require is to show off what they can do on the defensive side of the ball. See if they can get rid of it. Fairy Peak off the demo. Would have liked to have been able to run onto a shot. Another demo. This time removing Fairy Peak. Off the backboard. You can see both teams, they don't care. They would rather 2 players go than no player goes. As long as you've got that recovery, it's worked out for them. Ooh, wait a minute, that was a bit of a mistake. Vitality looking to pounce on it, marked by 8. Back over to the corner, Johnny. And this is getting a little tense. 2 players gone yet again, marked by 8 on the goal line.
Extra covered in the infield pass, so that's the key. That's what they need to keep looking out for, because Vitality have gone back to it time and time again today. Alpha trying to pre-flip onto that one, but it's just narrowly missed. Fairy Peak looks for him in the middle. That's a pre-flip hit, though. Run it back, says Alpha 54. What a connection for the equalizer.
And everybody's doing something on this play. K-Dop's running around in the defensive half of BDS, taking the boost. Fairy Peak sees the pass, and then Alpha 54 finds the pre-flip. He was a bit far back, but it doesn't matter because when you utilize that flip, get that extra boost of speed, you can catch up to it and strike it with power.
BDS have now seen a second lead disappear in front of them, and they're still under pressure. K-Dop wiped out mid-air demo from Monkey Moon. But it's not the best touch from Mark by 8. Looks to set up extra. Alpha far too quick over on the far side. Monkey Moon gonna have his own attempt. Fairy Peak doing his own solid job in the midfield. This is so crucial. Vitality get this. They are up to championship point. The way they've been playing, you wouldn't bet against them.
No, it's hard to bet against it with this streak that they're on and just the level that they've shown up with today. And now Monkey Moon is in trouble again. Fairy Peak dunks it. And it's open for K-Dop! A Vitality lead with hardly any time left on the clock. Monkey Moon tried to get it over the first challenge. And Fairy Peak goes high on him. Huge read by Fairy against his countryman.
Monkey Moon is trying to get a chip above that offender instead of hit it to his own corner. Monkey Moon wants the transition, but it didn't work.
Well, now we've got 10 seconds left. Monkey Moon can't win the challenge against Fairy Peak this time around either. BDS scrambling. They've lost possession of this game. They've lost possession of this series, and they might be losing possession of the championship. Vitality, 5 minutes, 1 game away.
Wow. Vitality have done it once again. They are just beating BDS at their own game. They are reading every single play that BDS attempt to make. They're just on another level. That's the 3rd game in a row where Vitality have thoroughly deserved the win. And BDS had a lead there for a long time, but it doesn't look comfortable. And that's the difference for me. For BDS are usually so comfortable when they're in front. They usually dominate when they're in front. They just add more goals to every single lead that they get. Not today. Vitality have brought something that we haven't seen all season from them or from any other team in Europe.
So we've got you on camera here. You look shocked. I think the whole of Europe, the whole of the world is shocked.
I'm in disbelief
at what
right
we're seeing.
I'm in absolute disbelief. And it seems like it's just a repetition of the same play for Team Vitality to clutch it out, where it's a monster clear that we don't see too often from Vitality. Yes, we've seen K-Dop smacking the ball almost every time, but besides that, they don't really like to go for those massive, extensive clears. But then, as soon as they see BDS move forward, they get one pop-up clear all the way to the other side. It's a one-on-one with the defender. All Alpha 54 has to do, or whoever's the aggressive player for Vitality has to do, is win that 50-50, and you've got to follow up. It's so calculated and precise from Vitality. They've got the kryptonite strategy to fight BDS here and possibly win everything.
And this is it. BDS have got their season on the line. They've got this set on the line. The series, everything is on the line here. $80,000 on the line. They need to win 2 games just for a chance to beat Vitality, who, based on what we've seen today, I think look like the favorites. Even if they should lose here, they've been unbelievable, and BDS are in huge trouble, but they have shown that they can produce their best gameplay under the highest pressure circumstances, but they have to do it again.
So here we go. Team Vitality look to try and finish it off here. Championship on the line and championship point for one of the most long-standing and most accomplished rosters that we have had in Europe. They look to try and take down what has looked to be an unbeatable squad throughout most of the season. Extra, a little bit of sauce to start us off. Wait around in the midfield. Back down, over to Mark by 8. What will BDS do? This is the most pressure they have been in since they formed, Johnny, and they've got to come up clutch.
And they've got to just try to pass the ball a bit better. Vitality are connecting their passes together. BDS have been struggling to do the same. You know, we've seen solo plays, we've seen confident shooting every now and then, but Vitality have completely outplayed them in the team play department.
Extra, has he got anyone around to help him out? No, Alpha. Well, he was around to help, but he wasn't around to help out Extra. Just slides underneath the challenge as K-Dop, but that could be going anywhere. Alpha has to scramble back, just about does it in time. Almost got caught out by just a wayward bounce there as K-Dop will finally clear to the midfield.
And we're talking a lot about K-Dop and what he's doing on the field. He is the final boss, in JamesBot's words, as they're pressured now on defense. He's getting the clear there, finding a way out of the pressure that BDS are trying to put on. And look at him doing so much work down the field. K-Dop stands out in every single grand finals. He is the man who makes a difference on the field, takes charge and comms, and leads his team to victory.
And just across the board, Vitality's players have matched BDS mechanics today. That's something we haven't seen from them all season. They've been able to take games and they've been able to, force BDS out their comfort zone at times. But today they've also been staying on a level when it comes to speed, when it comes to just midfield domination. BDS completely unable to establish what we usually see from them. That's a great pass though, marked by 8 to Extra, but Extra is unable to beat his man as we remain in a deadlock.
Extra up against K-Dop. Good challenge though from Extra. That's BDS trying to just lock up that midfield, steal as much boost as they can, and basically use the bread and butter that's taken them to this point of the season to try and get them into that Game 7. Now Alpha on the break. Marked by 8 has been caught. Now Alpha couldn't quite hook himself around to try and find the shot still. Looks to try and set up a teammate. It's going to be a difficult shot. But Alpha will make a difficult shot look easy.
Whoa, Alpha 54 slots, an impossible shot, and that is a goal worthy of the championship.
He is simply too good with the pre-flips. He knows how to find contact even if he's out of position. Alpha 54. I mentioned K-Dop earlier, but he's definitely making a great case for him.
Monkey Moon looking for Extra. He won't be around. Mark Bayer has to hold the midfield. This is the last thing he wants to be doing right now, but they've got to make sure they don't go down by 2. Extra clears. Mark Bayer ends up backing down. Has not looked comfortable throughout this series. We all know that the majority of what BDS does starts with Mark Bayet's midfield challenges. So far, Monkey Moon looking for the setup. It's back down. 2 players went. Thankfully, back over to Monkey Moon. And if it didn't bounce that way, Vitality could well have been on their way for a second.
Yeah, communication breakdown again for BDS. It's, like you said, very lucky that they didn't concede on the counter there. It's somehow gone right back to Monkey Moon, who was extremely out the play.
And we all remember last series, what happened whenever Vitality were faced with match point. They found pre-jump saves left and right. The defense was unbelievably strong. So you've got to worry for BDS. Even a 1-goal lead is all Vitality need to take back the crown, excuse me.
Back into the midfield. Alpha. Nobody to pass to on that side. He doesn't care. He'll pass it to himself if he has to. It's exactly what he did to try and give them the lead in this all-important championship point match. Over to the far side, Monkey Moon. Gonna get there first. Who's around to help him? Absolutely nobody. Vitality holding the defense well.
And Monkey Moon trying to go all the way himself there, denied by the Vitality defense who are showing up every single game and being so difficult to get past. Time is running out. We're in the final minute. Is this the last minute of BDS season?
Extra goes low. Still not enough. Vitality saying everybody out on the goal line. You can get rid of it.
Slow play.
Absolutely do so. Alpha's done exactly that. And it's all the way back into the furthest part of the blue side of the field. BDS, half a minute. Can't afford mistakes like that from Monkey Moon.
30
They could
seconds.
use a mistake from Vitality here. Vitality aren't making any though. There's hardly any time left and BDS can't get rid of the ball. It's all Vitality at the moment.
Back into the midfield. Nobody around for BDS. 20 seconds left on the clock. Mark Bay has got Extra. Extra chooses not to go for it. One final roll of the dice available here for BDS. Monkey Moon doesn't quite control. Fairy Pig, it's just straight over to him. Extra can't beat K-Dop to it at all. It's off the side. Fairy Pig wants to kill off some more time from the clock. It's gonna be down to and Team Vitality are your European champions.
Can you believe it? Vitality have done it. 2 series in a row, set in the bag, championship in the bag against BDS, a team who no one has been able to come up against in any kind of fashion like this before. But Vitality have earned every bit of this. They are unbelievable today. What preparation, what form they've shown up with.
Back-to-back best of 7s. The last 10 months of scrims, practice, grid weeks, regionals, majors, and now finally championships. Vitality regain the throne, and they do it in style. What a performance from the champs, and especially from K-Dop.
Every single year, Team Vitality are always the benchmark, and as good as BDS have been, they have not been able to win the championships. Instead, today belongs to Team Vitality, your European champions.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself.
Up to Mark. Mark passes over to Extra, but K-Dop will cut out that lane, now racing to it. K-Dop with the boost steal. Shot opportunity from Alpha. Bounces out to Fairy Peak, who blisteringly shoots it into the net.
This time Flame with Archie over in the corner. They both collided with one another, but ends up actually speeding up their track back, and they're going to need to, because that is an outstanding shot by Alpha.
Alpha's been taken out of the game. This is a bit dangerous for Vitality depending on K-Dop's clearance. And men all the way down the other end. And better counter-attack goal you will not see.
K-Dop big enough, and now he can try and break. It's only Extra by himself. He won't be able to get to it. And BDS caught on the counter punch.
As that ball falls down into the final third of Guild, 1 minute looms on the clock. Vitality needing a goal.
What a touch from K-Dop. What a dribble miss is as well. He's going to score, is he? Yes, he is. It's gone all the way in. Pass over to Fairy Peak? No, it's going to be Alpha. Has the read off the corner. It comes for free for K-Dop. And Vitality punish top blokes again.